There is a lot of confusion about what the requirements for a wheelchair. Oh wow, and this is what the requirements are. Oh, no, I can't, bro.
He doesn't have muscles, let's just put it that way, right? He's not a wheelchair user. He doesn't have the strength and ability to get up that small ramp like many of our wheelchair friends can ace. This gentleman is not the maestro that we thought he would be. Take 30. I'm gonna pull you with the winch.
Can you?
Yeah.
There is a lot of confusion when we are talking about the requirements for a wheelchair taxi. In this video, we are gonna clarify what the requirements are. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Functional OT channel. In this video, I have Omid with me from Mobility Engineering. Hi Omid.
Hello, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful session.
In this video, we will talk about the requirements for a wheelchair and a power chair to go into a wheelchair taxi. Taxi! Omid, what are the requirements to go into a wheelchair taxi?
When we're talking wheelchair accessible taxis, they operate slightly different to private vehicles. So private vehicles are your mum and dad type cars, organizations that provide, transport services that are not for hire and reward, as they call taxis and buses. They're something separate. Now, we're going to talk about what I guess is the legal side of things, and then also the safe and best practice.
So what is the best practice to go into a wheelchair taxi?
There needs to be certain dimensional requirements or the space available in the vehicle for it to be classed as a wheelchair access taxi. So one is the height. You have to have 1500 height, entry and internal. Length, you also need a minimum of 1300 millimeters in length as well. And width, your entry width and also your internal width space must be a minimum 800. If you have more, better, because that means that you can cater for a large group of wheelchair size and dimensions. So the vehicle must be equipped with wheelchair restraints. So that's what secures the wheelchair in place. And most taxis have 4 floor restraints, 2 at the front and 2 at the back. And then you have the occupant restraint, which is what secured the person in place, which is your seatbelt. And we commonly say 3-point belt or lap sash. So that's across your lap and your sash. Now, if it doesn't have that, it could be potentially an older car, but it's recommended that you use a 3-point belt because that's the current safety requirement. So one thing also I should mention is this chair here, it's got a lap belt fitted to the chair, and some wheelchairs may have harnesses fitted to the chair as well. That is not your restraint. It's just a positioning device to keep you upright or seated in your chair. You must always use that seatbelt, okay? Don't use what's fitted to the chair, use what's fitted to the vehicle, because that is the restraint. Now we come to the wheelchair. So best practice for the wheelchair is you have either at the front and rear tied out points. So you have 2 points at the front and 2 points at the rear. And then you have the seat itself. So the seat structure must look similar to what a vehicle seat would be. So you have the backrest and the headrest that protects your head and your back in the event of an accident. So that's best practice, and that's the safest way to be traveling. Now, there are some wheelchairs where the frame may be, transport approved with the tied out points, but the backrest may not have that same look, the headrest and the high back. In a taxi, it's okay or legal to be traveling like that. However, it's not the safe and recommended way to go.
For example, here we have a basics. As you can see, this is a crash tested wheelchair, and in this case, we don't have the headrest. So, even though we don't have the headrest, this could be used into a wheelchair taxi.
Correct. Yes. And then there's other chairs, right, which the frame does not have any tie-down points or any locators marked on the frame, where it's not safe to use, but you can technically travel in a taxi in. And what we normally recommend is you observe the frame, and then you secure the tie-down points to what would be the strongest part of the frame, not the wheels, not anything that can be removed, because you want to ensure that when you are traveling in the vehicle taxi in that chair, you're giving yourself the most amount of chance to be safe. Now, is that recommended? No. But is it legal? Yes, it is. And another thing I should probably mention is if you are in a position where you do have a chair like that and you are able to transfer with the help of your friends, if you are with someone or even yourself with a taxi driver, it's highly recommended to transfer to the vehicle seats, because again, that's going to give you the safest position within the vehicle.
What about if I have a client who is not on a crash-tested wheelchair? Can the taxi driver refuse to carry them out?
Well, under the Anti-Discrimination Act, technically they can't or they shouldn't. However, though, the taxi driver ultimately is the operator of the vehicle, and they have duty care to themselves where if they understand the safety implications of that wheelchair being transported not being safe, then they may be in a position to say, no, I'm not going to transport you because I don't want to put you in harm's way. Now, technically, you can go down that path of legal route and so on, but, you know, is it really worth it? See the taxi man or lady, whichever they are, they're trying to make sure you're traveling safe in the vehicle. So, yes, there is the possibility for them to deny you, but, you know, technically, they are not meant to deny it because everyone has the right to be able to be transported in a taxi.
So just to sum up, it is legal to drive on a not crash-tested wheelchair without headrest, with not the safest back support? Unfortunately, yes. However, safety comes first. So if you're planning to use a wheelchair taxi, please just go for a crash-tested wheelchair with a head support. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Omid.
Yes, thank you.
Otherwise, I could reach.
It's the accent. It's Omid, live for those that know, you know me. For those that don't, he's going to put my details at the bottom there as well.
I hope you enjoyed the video. So please don't forget to be kind and smile. And it's very important. Now we say arrivederci together. Okay.
Arrivederci.